longing, love and respect. After almost 1 year, it's a great pleasure for me to be back in Konya. Konya has always supported us and always taken the front lines in every struggle we have taken on. Therefore, we have close relations with the people of Konya. May God make our togetherness, our fraternity, last until our last breath. Today, other than coming together, we have gathered to present 5 different investments to our city and open them for service. One of those investments is Konya City Hospital. In the field of health, we have delivered a lot of services to all corners of our country, and the city hospitals is the zenith, are the zenith of those activities, and we have built one of the biggest hospitals in Konya city. The hospital was planned to have some 800 beds in the beginning, but we then thought to ourselves that this was a low figure for Konya, and during the groundbreaking ceremony we gave instructions to the relevant authorities to increase the number of beds to 1,250. We have 49 operation theaters, 17 units for burn cases, and many outpatient clinics. So this hospital is itself a source of pride for us. The hospital started admitting hospitals in this August, and only last month it served around 100,000 people, and it shows clearly that the investment made was to the point. We are now inaugurating the first section, first phase of this hospital, and the remaining phase will be open for service by the end of the year, hopefully. And the other project other investment we will be opening is a market area with all the stores, with a car park of more than 900 vehicles capacity, and with all the other means. This investment will make our city, Konya, to take a fresh breath. And I'm very pleased that Konya embraces its history, its past. And the third project is about easing the city traffic of growing city of Konya. It is the motorways project. Konya Karaman, in between Konya Karaman and Konya Ereğli regions, we have constructed the first phase of this highway, which is of 22 kilometers. And the other sections of the highway will be gradually brought to service. And this is, I believe, the opening gate the gate that opens to the whole world from Konya. And another investment is the logistics center established in an area of 1 million square meters, and this is going to contribute to the export volume of the city. And one other project is the housing project and the settlement area project. Mosques, buildings, trade centers, infrastructure, and landscape-related projects were made for this settlement, and I wish the best for the citizens who will be residing in that area. With its agriculture, services sector, with its infrastructure and industry, Konya will be growing more, and it has shown that it is ready for bigger movements to come, and we, using all our means, will continue to stand with Konya province of our country. All those great works that we have inaugurated hopefully will be auspicious for our city and for our country. And I would like to thank to the ministries, all the authorities, the municipalities, all employees, and engineers, everyone who contributed to the completion of this project. My distinguished people, yesterday we had the chance to share certain important elements in our agenda at the opening ceremony of the legislative year of the Turkish Parliament, and due to COVID-19 many things have now caught our attention. And the struggle that our country has within and outside the country is, of course, not independent of this global transformation period. Just like a century ago or a half century ago, the world new order was restructured, and this time Turkey is now by some put aside this global order, and some try to isolate our country of this new structure order. From the Syria to the to Caucasia to the Mediterranean, there are many crisis points. When you link those points, you see that Turkey is that Turkey by some is attempted to be taken under a surrendering, and we have seen that very clearly. We protect our unity, the power of our state, and also the togetherness of our people. But on the other hand, we have brought many projects, many steps to practice that will overturn such surrendering actions. And we have again said that it is not going to be easy, by way of reiterating that the world is bigger than five over and over again. There are some who turn a blind eye to what we say and continue to act in line with their own habits, but at the end, sooner or later, they will see, and they have seen, that things are not as they are expected. We have always fulfilled our promises, have always acted on our commitments, and with this resolution and our stance, clear stance of no concessions, international powers then had to include Turkey into the equation. And both at the table and in the field now, we have an essential position. Of course, this came at a cost from time to time. Some terrorist organizations and also some economic traps laid in front of us, and also some international pressure were brought in our way. And they wanted us to turn back away from our path, but with God's will and with our nation's support, we have not turned back away from our path, and we will not. As we always say, they have failed and they will fail. And Turkey is now fighting against terrorist organizations and is experiencing the most successful days of its history. No matter what those terrorist organizations are, we do not let them take a single step forward. We do not let them take a single breath. And those who have their eyes set on our territories have received the best response as we moved our operations beyond our borders. Now we have been keeping an area of more than 800,000 square kilometers under our control. We are not doing this arbitrarily or out of joy, but we know that those potential attacks against our country can come our way, and we have done that to control that. But still there are some who do create certain dens of terrorism to threaten our country, and they should see that those cannot harm us anymore. But any place, any location that poses a threat against our country is an area of operation for us. They wanted to play the same game in the Eastern Mediterranean, and with Libya we have signed an agreement with the Aral Sea, and an important part of the Eastern Mediterranean has now become an area, a legitimate area of operations for us. And on the other hand, the big natural gas reserve we discovered in the Black Sea made our, of course, actions prove fruitful and gave us morale. But some do still threaten us with empty words and empty blackmailing, and they still could not make our country to step backwards. And finally, they have had to answer our calls for dialogue. And the actions are still ongoing in the Eastern Mediterranean, but in Caucasia, certain developments have started to unfold. When the Karabakh issue has not been fully resolved, Armenia yet again attacked the Azerbaijani territories, but they have seen a very unexpected reaction by Azerbaijan, because Azerbaijan has started a very large-scale counter-offensive to protect its territories and its people, and the Azerbaijani military moving forward very successfully at the front liberated many of its a large part of its territories. We will be, and we have always been with our Azerbaijani brothers and sisters and our sisterly country, Azerbaijan, all the way to the end. And hopefully until Karabakh is liberated from this occupation, this struggle will continue. My dear brothers and sisters, the new world political and economic order is being restructured, and our struggles will help us emerge victorious, so that we are also included in this order, and it depends on the struggle we take on. Therefore, we always express our decisive stance and how resolute we are to achieve our goals. In the past, there were some who wasted Turkey's energy and time for their own personal interests, and those people also have now been disappointed. Thanks to the unity and togetherness of our nation, we have frustrated all those plans, upsetted all those games against us. We on one hand have secured the future of all 83 million of this country, and on the other hand we have never neglected our movements of further development. In particular in economy, last year and in the first quarter of this year we have observed a strong recovery. With the impacts of the pandemic in the second quarter of this year, we had a slowdown. Yet about the third quarter, I can say that we have been receiving new and good news every passing day. Yesterday we have found out that the September trade volume has exceeded the figure of $16 billion, and it has broken the record of the Republican history, and we share that with our people. And today we have found out again, we have been informed that the automobile sales also in our country has broken the record of the Republican history. The electricity consumption in industrial areas also broke records last month. As you know, only last month in Gaziantep organized industrial zone, 300 facilities were collectively opened, and there were some who tried to cast a shadow even on this beautiful development, but no matter what those people do, they will not be able to change the reality that Turkey has speeded up yet again to further develop and grow. We have been seeing the manifestations, the reflections of those in each and every city, in each and every corner of our country, and we share at every chance the opportunities we offer to our people to seize. And in Konya last year, totally 60 billion liras worth of investment was made last year, and this is only out of love we have for Konya, and we will update this figure even more. We have built many classrooms for our city, and we established 3 universities, one of which is a state university. And for our university students, we have built dormitories with a capacity of more than 20,000 beds, and as well we have completed we have come to almost the completion of 3 higher education dormitories for higher education, and we have also renewed many buildings and infrastructure and brought them operational. And the 5th Islamic Solidarity Games will be organized in Konya the next year. So for that reason, we have built Olympic pools, swimming pools, and gymnastics complexes, and also the first bike races track also will be built in Konya within the framework of those games to be held in Konya. And Seydişehir, Karapınar, and national gardens will be built in Konya. Çumra, Kadınalı, Ilgır national gardens are still in tender process and hopefully will be completed soon. And
6. sınıf öğrencisi
Merve Mercan, our daughter who lost her life due to COVID-19, is the figure whose name we will give to a complex to be built at Selçuk University. And we have opened more than 600 facilities for our healthcare sector, and now we are opening the city hospital. We, on the other hand, have completed the project for 10 healthcare institutions, and the tendering processes for 30 other healthcare institutions are ongoing, and we have built many dwelling houses in the city. In terms of transportation, the divided road length has now come to stand at a figure of 1,085 kilometers, and the first phase of the highway has been officially opened today, and the other sections will be completed the next year. And all of those constructions for divided roads and highways and motorways will hopefully be finalized the next year. Konya, Sakarya, Bilecik, Aksaray, and Eskişehir are the cities that Konya is connected to through high-speed trainways. And we have also opened the logistics area for Konya, and the high-speed train station construction is to be almost completed. The infrastructure, superstructure, electrification, and station construction of the logistics hub have now been complete. After signalization studies are complete, the next year we will be starting the train operations in this train station. Karaman, Mersin, Adana, Osmaniye, and Gaziantep are the locations to which Konya province will be connected through speed trains. Another high-speed train is to connect Konya to Nevşehir, Aksaray, Konya, and this way Antalya, Konya, and Cappadocia regions will be connected to Kayseri province, and then from there to the other high-speed train lines. With all these projects, Konya will be the most important, one of the most important connection points for high-speed train lines of our country. When it comes to intra-city travel, we are further improving the railway systems. Fethi Caddesi and Meram Municipality Railway System Construction project will begin by the end of the year. Meram Municipality Railway Systems studies have now been complete, and we are now working on the existing lines already. All the networks constructed in Konya. We are working to update and refurbish all those. And 2 high-speed trains and 2 suburban train lines and 2 conventional lines will also help expand the scope of the project. The projecting phase of this has now been complete, and the 2 lines will go through the organized industrial zones, and the other 2 lines will be built in Kayapınar Logistics, near Kayapınar Logistics Hub. We will not, of course, neglect aviation lines. We will be we have constructed a new terminal building for our airport. In 2013, 76,000 passengers, inbound and outbound passengers, was the number in Konya airport, but this figure has exceeded 1 million now. So all those projects, and also the Blue Tunnel project we constructed, made it possible for Konya to have access to water resources in each and every location of the city. We have built 9 dams, and also we will be building 5 artificial lakes, because we do not want the lands of Konya province to be dry. We want them to be fertile, and this is how we act. And also 800 acres of plot was open for the use of our farmers, which then contributed tremendously to their income. And with all the other irrigational activities, we will open a larger area for irrigational activities, and the city system will also be converted into closed system. And over the past 18 years, we have allocated about 9.7 billion liras of agricultural incentive. But the leader of the main opposition party is unable to provide anything to our farmers, and left our farmers alone, and he does not have any idea what we do. You should come around and pay a visit and see with your own eyes what goes on in this region, but it he would not. But thank God we in Konya have been engaged in many activities. This goes the same for production. And our city, Konya City, has once again proven that it is the capital of food production of our country. And the number of the organized industrial zones has increased up to 10, with 2 additional more organized industrial zones established. And Konya Industrial Technology Zone is another area where we will be, by the end of the year, hopefully completing the construction of the Aselsan space and weapons factory. The weaponry systems produced here hopefully will be exported to the rest of the world. And next year, we will be establishing a Turkish weapons test center. And we have ensured the supply of natural gas to 24 districts of Konya. And by the end of the year, two other districts will have access to natural gas supplies. My brothers and sisters, as you can see, this is, if you will, the summary of all the services and investments we have made for Konya, and the list goes on and on. Hopefully, until 2023, Turkey will be adorned with more works of art, and we will bring more services to the use of our people, and we will hopefully step into a new era. And now I would like to make a call to our young people. Dear youth, even starting from now, try your best to shape the 2053 vision of our country and start working. As you can see, time flies. In the blink of an eye, we will be in 2023. Therefore, you will be navigating our country and make our country course towards our vision of 2053. And in this regard, we're ready, more than ready, to lend every support for our people and construct any infrastructure needed. And the bridge we will construct from the past into the future will stand on all of you, the youth. You will be constituting the strongest pillar leg of this bridge, and our country needs your courage, needs your innovations, and also your enthusiasm. And a friend at cause, a friend of ours, and someone who served as the Minister of Transportation and Infrastructure, and currently he was the MP from Bitlis. A friend of ours, unfortunately, passed away, and using this opportunity, I would like to pray for the mercy of God on his soul, and let's now together pray for his soul. With all of those thoughts, I once again hope that the investments we have materialized and the projects we are now opening will be auspicious for our people, for our country, and I would like to thank to all those who contributed to the fruition of that, and I would like to extend my best regards and respect. And I have a request, a kind request to make for the contracting company. Can you please show once again the hospital so that we can see all the landscape and work relevant with the hospital? So as you can see, landscape activities and all other works, still about those, we have some way to go. We have some shortcomings, and we need to address all of those shortcomings, because we are talking about a great work of art, and the landscape for such a big scale project should not come with any missing points, because we're talking about a very considerable figure. This is a giant investment, and for such an investment we should not see any sort of shortcoming or whatnot. Therefore, the next time, hopefully, we will see that this hospital is among green pine trees, and give further life to the people who will present to that hospital for better health. Thank you.
Şehir hastanemizin 2 birimine canlı bağlantı gerçekleştireceğiz efendim. İlk bağlantı noktamız hibrit ameliyathane ve karşımızda kalp ve damar cerrahı Profesör Doktor Sayın Kadir Durgut bulunmakta. Arz ederim efendim.
Kadir Bey